The first thing that we have to admit when you play a team like Morehead State, and there's nothing wrong with saying this, they've got better players than us individually. And so when you're playing a team that's more talented than you individually, you have to play as a team. And I thought that we had too many guys out there that was trying to match them point for point individually. So like to me, the thing that we have to learn from this game is if we're going to be a good team, when you play a team like that that has guys that are better individually than you, if you don't play as a team and do the little things, you're not going to have success. So I thought it was just everybody was on an island the whole time. I thought they were one-on-one without us being help side there. And if you allow those guys like Descent, and Moon and Marrero to be one-on-one, they're going to win that battle. And then on the offensive end, I thought that what we tried to do was match them. And every single time that we caught the ball, we were trying to make a play individually instead of just doing a simple thing offensively, which is just move the basketball. We were in the bonus with 11 minutes left in the game, and we didn't take advantage of that by getting to the free throw line and being aggressive. But the reason we couldn't do that is because every single time we caught the ball, we tried to make a play individually instead of moving the ball. Our offense the past 2 games has been really stagnant. The ball hasn't moved, so this is a good learning point for us. But we also got to eliminate the distractions from our life in order to be a good basketball team. The situation with Jalen Benton, a couple guys like being late for class or being late for a tutor. In order for us to be a good team, we've got to eliminate those distractions in order for us to be a good team. But Morehead State's a really good team. They've got really good individual players. They're hard to stop. They're a high-scoring team. But for us, we've got to make sure we look ourselves in the mirror. It's not the referees. It's not the officiating. It's not anything like that at all. They're better than us, and in order for us to win that game, we've got to figure out a way to toughen it out and play as a team.
Marrero obviously really got going in the first half. How much did he sort of open that offense up in the second half, do you feel like?
Well, I think it's our lack of attention to detail. Marrero's going right. It's not hard to figure out, and he was more determined to go right than we were determined to stop him from going right. And so we didn't cut him off. We weren't physical, and then more importantly, like when the shot went up, between their 2 bigs, Marrero and Williams, they got 10 offensive rebounds. So that's what we talked about. When the shot goes up, the most important thing is keeping those guys off the glass, because sometimes that's their best offense.
You talked about how they, kind of mismatches all throughout the way their starting 5 works. Their 2 guards played all 40 minutes, Coach. What is, Descent got going there in that one spurt there in the second half, but, even Xavier Moon, just talking about that 2-guard combo that they have.
Well, for me, Xavier Moon is probably the best guard in the OVC, because I think the difference between Jonathan Stark and then also Josh Robinson is the quickness that he possesses. He is so quick and fast that he's really hard to contain. And then on top of that, if you go trap him or try to get the ball out of his hands, he's able to beat that trap, and then now all of a sudden you're playing 5-on-3 instead of playing 5-on-5. But if you just leave him out there on the island by himself, he's more than capable of making shots. And then with Descent, I thought we did a pretty good job, but I think he didn't have a point up until 7 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game, and all of a sudden he ends up with 14 points. So we did a good job until it was time for us to try to win the game, and he took over. So, I just think that pair of guards, I don't know if there's a better pair of guards in the OVC.
Closing out this game, too, I know you guys were shooting really well there in the second half. You were at one point at about 75% from the field, and then you just kind of hit a wall there offensively. 1 of 7 to close it out. What do you feel like contributed to kind of what the offense went through there in the final few minutes?
Well, jump shots. We settled for jump shots. I thought we shot 2 air balls because they were bad, contested shots, and I thought we lost our aggressiveness. And if we had just passed the ball and shared the ball, they were in a bind, because I didn't think they could guard us off the bounce. But we stopped being decisive. To me, when you start playing with the basketball as far as dribbling and not just going direct one-way drives, then you're putting yourself in a bad situation. I thought we played with the ball way too much instead of just catching the ball, ripping it, and going down and finishing. And we took contested jump shots at the end, and that's what happens.
I've talked to Antonius about how his team has sort of learned to battle when Trey gets into foul trouble there, but against this team in particular, Trey goes out with 2:50 left, and all you really have in the post is Milos. What do you guys, how much of a challenge was it today in particular against this kind of team?
Well, the challenge is for Trey to do what he's supposed to do. I mean, like, he's got to stop fouling. I mean, it's a pattern. So it's not something that like the other team is doing. It's not something that we're doing. It's something that Trey's got to understand, that he's got to be fundamentally sound and be in the right places to take himself out of situations where he's going to foul. And more importantly, like, the charges is what kills him. I mean, every game now he's getting 1 to 2 offensive fouls on charges, and that's all on him. So he's got to be, at this point in time, a senior. He's got to stop fouling by being in the right places, so the onus is on him.
You know, Taji was obviously a bright point for you today. I know he stepped in to replace Jalen there. Hit some big shots there in that second half to kind of keep you guys afloat, though. What did you see from Taj tonight?
Well, Taj, offensively, it's not a problem from him. I mean, he's got a cool, calm demeanor. He's more than capable of making threes. He can create things off the bounce. But quite frankly, I mean, we've got to figure out a way to hide him on the defensive end. And so in order for him to be a guy that's going to be a really good player for us, he's got to be able to guard on the other end. And he was a guy guarding descent during that stretch. And so he's got to keep the ball out of his hands. And if he does get the ball, then he's got to be able to guard him.
Denzel's early 2 fouls, how did that kind of contribute to what happened in that first half in terms of what you guys wanted to do?
Yeah, well, it hurts us. There's no question about it, because he's that guy that's the aggressive driver for us. He's a matchup problem for the other team. So it takes away from our ability to be aggressive on the offensive end. You know, what we've got to do is we've got to figure out a way to play through that. I mean, every single game there's going to be some sort of adversity, whether it be Denzel being in foul trouble, Trey being in foul trouble, you know, us not being able to make shots. There's going to be some sort of adversity throughout the course of the game, and you've got to figure out how to overcome that adversity.
When you went to close the half out, you went real small there. What were you looking from with that starting 5 that you had in there? I think Hodgman was the tallest guy that you had in there.
Well, it's out of necessity. I mean, every single one of our guys with size had 2 fouls, so we had to do that. And even at that point in time, I think Daniel still had 2 fouls. So Trey had 2 fouls, Antonius had 2 fouls, Milos had 2 fouls, obviously Denzel had 2 fouls. So you had to put that lineup out there to protect yourself.
Really, the only question that I have is all the things that you're saying about people have to stop fouling, like these things have to stop happening and you have to adjust from that. Does the team have that same mindset? And if they don't, then what do you do as a coach?
Well, it's my job, obviously, to point those things out and to correct them. But at the end of the day, there's 2 things that need to happen. I mean, one is you need to be coachable, and second is you got to understand that you've got to change some things as far as like your habits and what you're doing in order for us to be a successful team. And so, like, to me, that has nothing to do with like technique. It has nothing to do with like this foot up, this arm up. It's just like, hey, you have to accept the fact that we're not getting it done, and part of us not getting it done is like you being on the court. So for us, it's about like accepting these responsibilities, taking actions. I mean, taking a responsibility for your actions moving forward. And I think our guys are more than capable of that. And the thing that I don't want to come across about this is that we have bad guys on our team, but this is all part of like being a team and growing up and accepting responsibilities. And we as coaches, if they're not doing it, then we're not doing a good enough job of coaching it and getting it across. So it's a 2-way street.
What's kind of the message with this team right now, Coach? You're going 5 more games left, and these are going to be 5 teams that you've already played once. These are 5 very important games right now.
Well, for us, like, I think that our team is so wrapped up where we are in the standings, and that's the biggest mistake that you can make. I see right now, I don't even know who we play next, but what they're going to be doing is looking at their record and looking at our record and trying to decipher, like, well, we should win that game based on this or that, and it has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with is how did we practice today? How were you individually? Did you do the things in order to make us a better team today? And if you're not doing those things on a day-to-day basis, then I can guarantee you what's going to happen come game time. The way you practice is the way you play. Plain and simple. And we haven't had very good practices here the past few days, and because like that's the result of it. We've got to figure out a way to like defend and get stops, and we've got to be held responsible for our own actions by taking good shots and moving the ball. But our past 2 games, our offense hasn't been very good because we're not sharing the basketball. And we're more than capable of doing some really good things, but we have to do it as a team and not as individuals.